All right, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little Hebrew lesson on sound vibrations, and the power of sounds. And when you say these sound vibrational frequencies, what can happen? They have the power to heal and they have the power to destroy. So healing sounds like something good, right? Destroying sounds like something bad. So when you take the two, you get duality, which is polarity, which is one of the seven hermetic principle, which is number 4. Duality, opposites, opposing forces, balance, unbalance, and counterbalance, offense, defense, seven hermetic principles, 9 ethers, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm just showing you the duality nature of how things work in the spiritual realm. But back to, sound vibrational frequencies. Right here is a poster on the wall, Hebrew poster I made a long time ago. But we can cut that short, But I'm going to run through the Hebrew alphabet with you guys real quick. It reads from right to left, not left to right like the English language. First letter is Aleph, which has the I sound. Aleph, Bayat, which would be the Ba sound. Aleph, Bayat, Gemal, Dalet, He, Va, Zin, Hayet, Tet, Ya, Kaf, Lamed, Mim, Nun, Sameth, Ayin, Pei, Tezadeh, Quaf, Resh, Shin, Tav. And again, sound vibrational frequencies. So, like the Bible starts off, it always says, in the beginning was the word. What is a word? A sound vibrational frequency. It is speaking something into existence. Words manifest through thought forms. Thought forms come from electrons, signals that are passed off to the brain. They're conjured up, through feelings and emotion. That's why, like in the Gospel of Thomas, the Messiah said, he said in the regular Bible, he said, you'll be able to perform the things in which I have and work even greater wonders. But it's decoded more in the Gospel of Thomas, which was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. He says when the two become one. It's when the intention and the feeling comes together, or the thought and the emotion comes together, that feeling creates the energy. The thought is just the contents, the idea, it's only an idea, but it only comes alive when that energy, like I said on the post the other day, like when I was talking about the holy pinnacles, unless they're consecrated and activated, they will be useless because they're like a plug without an outlet, a machine with a plug without an outlet and has a power source, the machine will not work and function. So back to what I was saying, these sound vibrational frequencies, like the Bible, which means the book, it says in the beginning was the word. The word is a sound vibrational frequency. So these words, like I was showing you with the duality, it goes both ways. It can heal and it can destroy. So with these sounds, you could also use these sounds of the Hebrew alphabet as a mantra, when you say them in 3 syllables, like anybody ever watch Nikola Tesla? He said the keys to the universe are 3, 6, and 9 because he understood the significance of numerology and how it worked together with astrology. Astrology is above, physical things are below, Numbers govern the universe, days of the week, celestial cycles, seasons, they all revolve around numbers, Each season is categorized into 3 months. It's 4 seasons in a year, 12 months in a year, and each one of those seasons consists of 3 months, which is 90 days. 90 days is, 90 degrees, and when you add it all up and you get the 360, well, they say 365 now, but it really consists of 13 months on 28-day cycles, because it's 7 days in a week. It's 4 weeks in a month. So 7, 14, 21, 28, which would be like a month of February. So if you took those extra couple days off of each month and put them together, you would get a whole nother month, which would be 13. Because 13 is a sacred number as well. I can break that down all in a whole nother video, but I want to stick to sound vibrational frequencies in words, the power of words. Words are spells, because you spell syllables to get words, to make an expression, or bring something to somebody's attention, or make them get the concept of what you are trying to perceive to them, or pass off to them. So words are spells. That's like I tell people. People think they're doing something different when they say, oh, I'm praying. When you're praying, you're doing the same thing. You're casting a spell. You're taking that intention, something you conjured up, that you connected your feelings and emotions to the thought forms. And you basically are speaking it into existence, That's what abracadabra means. It means what you speak is what you create, In the beginning was the word. Abracadabra. It's like magic, right? So when you say a prayer, you're casting a spell, You're conjuring up words that are made from syllables, sound, vibrational frequencies that have feelings and emotions connected to them, these thought forms, This is how you activate these things. It also could be done, see, like when somebody say cast a spell, there's so many ways you could pray. You can write down your prayer on a piece of paper, say the holy names of God as well, put your name, your birth date on there as well, your numbers, your numerology, and you can light a candle, and you can fold that piece of paper up threefold, and you can light that piece of paper with your prayer on it in the fire, and that fire will go up. That smoke will go up. As above, so below. As within, so without. That's another way to pray. That's another way that you can get your prayers answered even faster than actually just speaking. But the key is to say things in multiples, 3, 6, or 9. Basically like what I was trying to say with Tesla was trying to present to people. But, you learn a little here and you learn a little there. But just like the Hebrew alphabet, like in English, they'll say, oh, Alpha and Omega means the beginning and the end. I am the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last. But Alpha and Omega is just Greek. The real way you would say that is I am the Aleph and I am the Tav. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the Aleph, the A, and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the Tav. I am the Aleph and I am the Tav. The Hebrew alphabet, in the Egyptian alphabet, in the Greek alphabet, they all have the same numeral value in the syllables of words. See, like right here on this Tree of Life chart, I'll show you something. This is numbers and sounds. They go hand in hand. Just remember that. So like right here on this chart, as you can see, you see right here, it says the Hebrew alphabet, and then it goes, how I say A, B, which are left, Bayet, Gemal, and then so on and so on. But it breaks down. See, if you look real close under these, you'll see numbers, It'll start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 to 9, then it'll go into the 10s, 10, 20, 30, and then it'll go down into, the bigger numbers, 100, 200, numeral value of these numbers. So that's the key with words, You got to be able, like discern something. Discern is threefold. Discern means to decode, decipher, debunk. You debunk, you deconstruct words by sounds. Sounds have frequencies. They hold energy. So, abracadabra. What I speak is what I create, You will things around you. That's why you created in the image of God, because It's not that because you look like him. It's because that you have the same free will that God has in the universe. The angels, they don't even have the same abilities that you have. But you're still stuck down here, stuck in a meat sack, that you can't get out of, until you die, sin, cross over, and you go to the higher realms. The key right now is to ascend from your lower state, your root chakra, and light up all the energy fields in your body and ascend to your crown chakra, which is heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within, just like it tells you in the Bible. So back to sounds, before I go off topic, because I get to preaching, I know these stuff like the back of my hands. This is what I've dedicated my whole life to, I ain't the smartest in everything, but when it comes to this stuff, I'm your guy. But back to sounds. Like, all right, here's another frequency of the Hebrew alphabet that you can use to heal yourself. You say it multiple times. If you say Nun Ya Tet, Nun Ya Tet. See, those are 3 syllables of the Hebrew alphabet, which will raise your vibrational frequency, and they also have the ability to heal, your cellular regenerate. But I'm gonna tell you another thing. See, key is, how they say faith without works is dead. So you're saying something, speaking into existence, but also work. If you ever watch this show on Netflix, it's called The Old Ace. But they basically locked up in this doctor guy's basement, and they start doing all these mudras and mantras. They come together, Now they say when 2 or more are gathered, this power, this spirit is present. So if you notice, once they start doing things in synchronicity together, and using hand signals, which you would call mudras, or, say like you hold your hands like this. This will help revitalize your body. But if you're saying like Nun Ya Tet, and you're doing this, and you're actually practicing your breathing in, say 3 seconds. You breathe in 3 seconds, hold it 3 seconds, exhale 3 seconds, then you'll repeat again, Nun Ya Tet, and then you'll go again. Now you'll go to 6. You'll do it for 6 seconds. You breathe, inhale for 6 seconds, hold it for 6 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, and then you'll do a repetition again. But once you hold your hands like this is scientifically proven. It creates certain blood circulation. It creates certain it opens up different neurological pathways in your brain, and so on and so on. But using those sound vibrational frequencies and body motions, which some people will say yoga, so many different ways, but this has been practiced and passed down through multiple cultures over thousands and thousands of years, But where I'm getting at is that is the healing aspect of the duality of the spiritual sense. So like the Bible will tell you that in the law, the law, which is the Torah, where you get the word tarat from, which is right here. So you don't think I'm making this up, but I done said this over and over before, but it's right there. It says rotas Torah equals law. Tarat, wheel of the law. So don't get it confused. Like these words, these words, these spells, like people, when they hear sorcery in the Bible, that's why I put the little video clip up, even though I've been teaching before I even put that video clip up. The translation that the word sorcery came from was the Greek word pharmakia, where you get the English word pharmacy from, which means to alter one's perception to reach spiritual heights using drugs, enhancing drugs, which some can dope you up and bring you down, and some can uplift you and make you more aware, but you're using, a sorcery, you're using these drugs to get to a certain state of consciousness. That's sorcery. Magic, on the other hand, is nothing but metaphysics. It's just a natural science of nature, your abilities, like the stuff I'm telling you, these mudras, these sound vibrational frequencies, that's metaphysics, magneticism, you're a magnet, Just like it says in the Bible, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's the same thing as the law of karma that says you get what you dish, you know. What you put out, you will get back, you know. It's like it's cause and effect, you know. For every action, there's a reaction, you know. So that's the whole concept of that. So these sound vibrational frequencies. So like I was just saying, you use these mantras, mudras, you know. You have some in Hinduism, you know, and the Indian cultures, Buddhism, and in Hebrew. You can use them all the same way. There's no real difference to how you use them, you know. A lot of people just set tripping over names. So what I'm going to tell you, this is what was used to bring down the walls of Jericho. This is the sound vibrational frequency that was used. See, I just told you on the hill, this is one that can destroy your enemies at any given time. It's called the Anna Bakoach prayer. Now look at the ritual when they went around the walls of Jericho. They marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. And then they blew a ram's horn. That big sound, that trumpet sound, that sound. And then the walls came down. But as they're marching around this wall these 7 times, they said this prayer. It's called the Anna Bakoach prayer. It goes like this. Anna Bakoach Gadula Yan Man Nacha Ta Tir Te Zura Kabel Ranat Ameche Sagrenu Taharenu Nora Na Gibor Dushe Yechedeka Kavaat Shamrim Barachim Taharim Rachame Yechedeka Tamid Gam Lim Chasin Kadash Ba Rav Tav Cha Nahel Arateka Yachit Gehe Ayamach Pane Zashre Kadusha Teka Shavatenu Kabel Ushma Taza Akatenu Yade Tahalimat Fiat Fiat Fiat. You see that fiat at the end is said 3 times. Now remember that sequence is 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9. 7. You know, repetitions of 7. We went around this wall 7 times. Ram's horn, sound, another sound vibration. Trumpet going off. Walls came down. How did that happen? So if you ever go watch the History Channel, Discovery Channel, whatever, when they talk about these ancient sites, they talk about these hot spots on the grid, which I spiritually know as ley lines, you know, where you can see. They talk about these stargates or these rocks. You know, people put their face in the rocks, and or that they'll say a sound and the sound echoes off the rocks and it opens up, you know, enlightenment or portal or whatever. People can go through things, you know. See, I don't even want to get into that about solids, liquids, and matters. Solids and liquids like we learned in school, because we know the liquids will come from the semen that's produced through the man, which comes through the pineal gland up through the spine, which is created as a thought form. You know, you get aroused, that energy, you know, conjures up that juice, and that juice signals manifest, boom. You put the cake batter in the oven. The cake is baked, which is inside of the womb. 360 degrees, you know, circle, you know, which is always going to go back to 9 months for a woman to have a baby, which is equivalent to 270 days. 2 and 7 makes 9, you know. That's the numerology of these things. It never lies. The laws of nature will never lie. You know, so that sound vibrational frequency, which I said was the Anna Bakoach prayer, that's what brought the walls of Jericho down, you know. And these same sound vibrational frequencies you can also use to heal, you know, and you can also use to destroy. The Bible will tell you, it said it's a time for peace and it's a time for war. So like I said yesterday in the post I put, for everybody to see anything supernatural, when the Messiah told you himself that you will be able to do the things in which he have and even work greater wonders, tell you that the kingdom is not somewhere outside yourself, but it's within you, which is the temple, which is the body, which is the vessel, which is the host. So when you hear me say a prayer like Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabaoth, it means holy, 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 Lord of hosts. What is a host? A host is a vessel. What is a vessel? It is a temple. What is a temple? It is a body. What is a body? What does a body hold? Energy. It's like a car. A car won't start without gasoline. The radio won't turn on. Certain things won't function. Well, the radio might turn on with a battery, but that battery is still an energy source. So without these energy sources, that vessel, that host, that shell cannot thrive. The same thing with you. Your inner essence is plasma, which is ether. What is plasma? Ionized gases. So it goes back to gas, just like gasoline. Why you think when you go to the gas station, you're aroused by the smell of gasoline? Because that same gasoline, that natural gas, is a part of you. If that makes any sense to you. But, but right here, this book right here, see, names have meanings, This right here, it came from Hallelujah Scriptures. But as you see, I have all these things highlighted. It goes from, Aleph all the way to Tav, breaking down the names and the meanings, And when you say these things or you say them in a certain sequence of their real meaning, this is what will unlock certain stuff in the atmosphere, You want to say a prayer, you want to cast a spell or whatever you want to call it, because Satan deceiveth the whole world. His job was to divide and conquer, If you separate everybody and put them in different categories and groups, then they basically be like gangbangers, They'll have enemies and say, oh, my denomination, my sector is better than yours, and mine's is better than yours. We're right, you're wrong. At the end of the day, nobody's right and nobody is wrong. But, if you're divided and you're going based off of this name, they're going off this name, but y'all all going off the same concept. See, the key to everything is finding the consistencies and patterns. People will lie, but consistencies and patterns will never lie. So that's just a word of advice, and that's my little lecture on sound vibrational frequencies. You follow me on YouTube at New Jeru Blue, which is NEW space JERRU space BLEU. I got a lot of videos on there. I'm about to start making my videos again. As you see, I've already been going through different books lately and, getting busy. I'm just building myself up to get back to my rightful place. But you got to go through some things to know some things. I've mastered all the chakras. I know them by heart. I know the whole Hebrew alphabet by heart. I know how to speak in Hebrew. I can read it, debunk it. I can't probably say full sentences and have a conversation in Hebrew, but I can read it. I can understand it if I see it. I can break down the syllables of the words and the meanings. It's a lot of different stuff, So right here, people are like, oh, you got an altar. This, and that. This is magic. This, and that. No, this is all natural elements. This is crystals. Because guess what? When you go to heaven, guess what they tell you heaven is made of? Crystals and gold. 12 tribes, 4 sides, 3 entrances on each one of those 4 sides for each tribe, which have a different stone, which is a crystal, If you look at the breastplates of Aaron in the Bible, each one of the 12 tribes, they all have a different crystal stone. If right here, you normally see the 7 candlesticks. Right here, I have 9 because 9 is divine. Right here, what you see is a da'unk, All this means is divine masculine and divine feminine, because just like the Bible says, in the beginning, Elohim. Elohim is plural, which means more than one. Said, let us create them in our image. So if mankind was formed and molded from the dirt, the earth, which is Tiamat, when you rearrange earth, you get ether, and ether is plasma, and plasma is energy, and energy and dirt and molded, just like ashes to ashes and dust to dust. You go back into the dirt, you decompose, or you get cremated in the fire and you get put back into the airways of the ether, It's energy. It's all energy. Basically, if the earth is a round ball, it's 360 degrees. Like I told you, 3 and 6 makes 9. The earth is just a womb. It's feminine. It's mother, the nature, the nature of things, the nurturer, the woman. You plant your seed in the woman and it develops. So the energy forms. But things were spoken into existence by words, thought forms, energy. It takes a lot of concentration to tap into certain things, but you still have the same free will and you can do the same things in which I have, just like the Messiah says. And I do those things. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I might not be out here, oh, this, and that, because you can't tap into everything. For one, you got to be following the laws of nature or somewhat following them. Nobody's going to be 100% accurate at doing these things, but you got to at least try. You got to have some type of daily ordinance and structure. You do got to observe the Sabbath. Nobody's perfect. Everybody falls short, but sometimes you're going to go through chaos energy. You're going to go through these trials and tribulations. It's not because you want to. It's not that you can't do right. It's all a learning process because there's no salvation without chaos. You will not have no salvation. You won't even know the salvation existed if it wasn't for chaos or those trials and tribulations and struggles or hardship or these things. See, a lot of people going through these things and they're going to depression. But the key is to not go through the depression. It's to actually see the lesson in the chaos. The phoenix rises out of the ashes of the chaos. So you have to turn that pain into power. The things that hurt you are designed to make you stronger. Either you're going to get stronger, you're going to charge up, or you're going to crumble. You're going to be soft, And God don't really deal with soft. He dealt with a lot of bad people. If you notice, a lot of the biblical characters, they were all bad people with the troubled past, because guess what? It's always going to go back to duality. You got to have the best of both worlds. You have to go through some things to know some things. So if you go through trials and tribulations and you came up hard and someone is giving you the law and the structure so you can become a disciple. What does disciple mean? Discipline. You becoming disciplined now because now you have the structure and you comprehend how laws of nature work. Some people will call them the Torah. Some people will call them, laws of attraction, laws of cause and effect, laws of the universe. However you want to look at them, they're laws and structures that's governed. It's a do and a don't. There's a cause and effect. You do this, you're going to get that. You do that, you're going to get this. So, and we know that's guaranteed, and that's for sure, and that's forever. Just like the seasons change, that's forever. We know it's going to be a summer. We know it's going to be a fall. We know it's going to be a spring. We know it's going to be a winter. That ordinance never changed. We know these new moons is going to come in. We know that it's going to be crescent moons that come in on these days. All right, before they didn't have the forecast with the weather. Oh, they look at the patterns of nature, how the way a bird is flying and moving, if something is coming or storm is coming or whatever. This is the power of nature and being in tune with nature, because guess what? The earth heart's beat and hurt frequency is the same as the human body. But in the beginning, you was created from the earth, right? Or that's what it says you was, right? But you're vibing at the same frequency as the earth. So it's like Bluetooth. You got to pair with it. Once you pair with it, guess what happens? You become connected to a broader service. It's like the internet. Your phone could be a phone, but none of those apps is going to work, or these different parts of your brain that are dormant right now if it don't have Wi-Fi. But your body is the same way. It's the Ethernet. You have to tap into the Ethernet, to go online and for certain things and pair with nature for it to give you a broader signal. But I'm going to leave it at that. Sound, vibrational frequencies. That's what this video is based on. Sound, vibrational frequencies. Duality. Two sides to everything. I'm out.